So today is our last day out here in the countryside looking for treasure and relics and anything interesting we might find. Joe Bill could not join us because he has a cold and he's feeling kind of ill today. So we're down here at the river. You can see my wife is down there in the middle there. She's working her way down to the water. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to head up this little ravine behind me and just look for anything that might have washed out of these banks right here and collected in the bottom. That's always a really good place to look, and I'll show you why. Whenever it rains, the water will come washing down the hillside and down to the bottom in the middle right here, and stuff will collect in these little rock pockets, and that's always a great place to look for heavier stuff. But also you want to look on the sides. See how this is all eroded right here? You can see a lot of dirt. And if you notice, like, the rocks are on pedestals. See how this rock is on a pedestal right here? There's dirt underneath, but it's been completely cleaned off on top. Same way here. So if there was a coin in here, or some other type of neat, heavy, relic, the same thing could happen. So instead of looking at a rock, this could be a coin sticking right here, all cleaned off, and nice, bright and shiny, ready for anyone to see. So we're going to go up here just a little ways. I can't go too much further because it gets very steep. And we're just going to look in the dirt on the sides, especially. That's really the best place to look. But also right in the bottom to see if anything might have collected there. The only problem with the bottom, though, is the current is so swift when it rains that it hits the bottom and just digs it out and it throws it on further down and gets covered with cobbles like this, or the loose stones. So the coins and stuff will actually be down under here and there'll be no way to see them. And I don't have a detector with me today. So let's just look around a little bit. Well, right where I just showed you the cobbles, this is my first thing that is man-made that I'm seeing, besides cans and clothes. There's some clothes in here. The highway is not too far above us. This is just a piece of iron. It's probably not too old. There is a railroad not too far up the ravine, so it could have come from that. But let's go ahead and walk our way up, and if I see something interesting, I'll turn the camera back on and show you what it looks like before I pick it up. So this is about as high up as I can easily make it today. There's a lot of moss and it's very slick up through here, so I'm not going to try to climb over that. But if I had a detector with me today, I'd be checking all these cracks right in here. That acts like a riffle on a gold pan or a sluice, and stuff gets trapped in there, especially coins and smaller things in these cracks. And if I had a detector, I could listen to this a little bit better, although I don't really see much in here. But there could be some stuff. Here's a big piece of iron. This is a bolt, or not a bolt, but a nut, probably off of the railroad. And it got caught right there in that pocket, just like that. Coins and other things would probably be down a little bit deeper underneath that dirt. Okay, let's go down to the main part of the river. That's a lot prettier down there. And if you look up on the hillside up there, I don't know if you can see it with the bright background like that, but there's an old some type of house up there, and that could be 500 years old or older, who knows. And anything that they threw off the side could have tumbled down that hillside, very steep hillside, and landed up in the river. And it would be like that all the way up this valley. And this is where the salt road was, and there were caravans going up and down this road for thousands of years. Let's go down to the main part of the river and look at it. Probably a little prettier than this little ditch we're in right now. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off because it's very slippery though. Very slippery. That's what I meant to say. We're almost down to the river now, and I found my first relic. Oh, it's not a great relic, it's kind of a neat little thing, and I'll show it to you. But first, let me say, I didn't bring my detector and stuff with me today because we only have like 2 hours, and we have to catch a train. I don't have a lot of time, so I thought I'd just mostly look. And I found something. You know what that is? This is a piece of an artillery shell, I do believe. And this is actually close to where I found that other piece of artillery shell the other day. It was caught right in this little pocket. You can see there's a piece of glass here too, so I'm not going to dig around a whole lot with my bare fingers, but this is the kind of area you want to look at when you're out here. Just look at these little cracks and stuff. Get down and really look at it, because you might just see the top of a coin or a ring or something poking out at your eyeball. You see anything? Only that. But we'll keep looking. Again, we only have 2 hours, so we have to keep a move on. So we worked our way down the river about a couple hundred yards. Haven't found too much. But we're going to get choked out here because there's a solid rock wall, like a cliff that comes down to the water. But I think we might be able to get across to the other side. You can see the old town up there on the hill. And it looks like a nice little bank we can walk along if we can get across there. We're going to try to skip across these rocks right here, which I think we can. You see there's a cliff right there. There's no way we can get around that. But before we do that, I think I found a artifact. Look! You see anything down there? Right in the middle of the screen. There's a spoon! Now, I got stabbed in the thumb yesterday by a fork. You see right where the sun meets the shadow. And it didn't get infected, thankfully, but this is a spoon. It's probably a little bit safer. It's very river worn, so we're not going to be able to read any maker marks on it or anything, but it's still a neat little spoon. It's copper, I believe, or brass. Don't know how old. Clem might. He's pretty knowledgeable on sort things. Clem, sorry, Clem. Joe Bill might know what this is. He's pretty knowledgeable about these sorts of things. It's a neat little artifact. I really do like it, although it's quite worn. But again, look where I found it, right in this crack that comes down. It got wedged in here, and a low pressure gets created right here when the river floods, and it doesn't get swept out. Very deep though. It's about 20 feet deep right there. Doesn't look. I didn't think it was going to be that deep down here, to be honest with you, but it's quite deep. Lindsay's probably already halfway down across, but we'll catch up to her. Okay, one artillery shell fragment and one spoon and a bunch of junk. Not looking terribly promising to get across right here, at least for poor little Lindsay. I have boots on, so I'm pretty sure I can do it, but she's going to get wet if she tries. You can see there's some iron down here. That's probably off of a car or a truck or something. There's a highway not too far up behind me. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to try to get across the other side because we are choked out here. We have about an hour and a half left, so I don't want to go too far. Little pieces of iron around, but like I said, a lot of this is probably off of the highway. I'm not sure what this is. Some type of strap, probably from the highway. Some broken glass. Don't see any cool animal tracks. Oh, there's some pottery of some kind. I have no idea how old that is. That could be 500 years or 10 years for all I know. Over here it's just really hard for me to tell with a lot of the stuff. But we'll keep looking. What do you think? Zip across? I don't think she's gonna go. I'm gonna try it though. This is the stone wall that's going to choke us off right here, but we're going to check it out right on the bend. It's pretty neat. I think we can get across without getting too wet. You can see a nice gravel bar right here and another nice one down there. Something that interests me a lot though is if you look on the other bank, you can see there's a rock wall right there. Kind of wonder why they would make a rock wall this close to the river, especially when there's, you know, natural rock right there. Kind of makes me wonder what was going on. Maybe there's some type of structure up there. I can see some rocks. So we're going to scoot across the other side and just kind of hunt along the bank and go back up a little bit. We started about 300 yards up that way, and we're down to about an hour of time now, so we don't have a lot of time. She's looking. This is a really good area to look. Again, we're right at the stone wall, but if you see here, there's an old tree, and the water is washing over this obstruction right here in these rocks, and it's eating out all of the dirt. So as the dirt gets carried away, the heavier stuff settles down. So we could find, you know, heavy things like coins and flat buttons and odds and ends in these little areas right here along the rock. See, that looked almost like a coin. I thought it was. That's why I quit talking for a minute. I got very excited, but it's just a rock. But we'll look around here a little bit and up along here. Go down to where Lindsay's standing, and we're going to try to hop across to the other side. So we're working our way back up to where I think we can cross the easiest. I have boots on, so it's not going to be a problem for me. Lindsay's going to take her shoes off and cross that way because she doesn't want to get them wet. Which I can't blame her because we have to hike a ways to get out of here. And I don't want her to get mad at me since I do have waterproof boots. Hopefully she doesn't go head first into the water. We'll never hear the end of it. But we'll have a good laugh, won't we? Yes, we will. All right, Lindsay, you ready? No. We're gonna go just a little bit higher. So we're just gonna walk across right here. Lindsay's gonna completely disrobe. Well, I didn't know she heard that. Sorry about that. She's gonna take her shoes off and we're gonna bebop across. And work our way up that side. That's the big town up there, and we'll work our way up. We're gonna have to come back this way for sure anyway, because it's much deeper and swifter up there, and it's much, it's much narrower, the river channel. But we might have some luck over here. Let's get started. She'll catch up to us.
Oh, this is cold. Oh,
it's not cold.
It's like being an ice cube bath.
An ice cube bath?
Ice cube bath. Ice cube bath. Ice cube.
All right, let's hurry. Hurry, hurry. Chop, chop. Chop, chop.
Stop it. Okay.
I hope she doesn't break her ankle here. Hope I don't break my ankle. All right, rock to rock.
From me.
I think we can go rock to rock here. Okay. I don't know.
That's terribly slick.
Oh, you can see shell fossils in there. Nah, maybe not. No, they're not slick. Hurry, hurry!
It's cold, cold. Can I get on that rock?
Hold on. Oi.
Hurry, hurry!
Hurry, hurry!
Oh!
Hurry!
Yeah.
It is very cold. I'm sure it kind of hurts probably. You know how cold water can be. Well, we're almost there though. At least I am. Woo! Almost fell over. All right. All kinds of iron over here already. She'll have to fend for herself. Let's look at what we have. Not sure. There's no way I can get that out to look at. It almost looked like a bayonet socket at first, but obviously it isn't. It's way too heavy. But being below that town, there's going to be there's all kinds of stuff over here. This might be a good spot. All right, Lindsay, I'm going to start without you. You're too slow.
Not.
You know I'm not. She fell in. I missed it. You're not too wet.
No, I'm not too wet.
You want my shirt to dry us off? It's part of a car, I think. You want my shirt to dry your feet off? It's got to be cold. Be careful, there's a lot of iron in here.
Yeah,
See some more iron here. And toothpaste tube. A lot of copper wire, well, just wiring, all kinds of stuff here. So even though what we're looking at is relatively new, chances are there could be some old stuff in here too. That's probably not very old at all. But yeah, I think it's coming from those houses up there. All right, we're gonna dry Lindsay's feet off and get a move on. I thought I was in a pristine mountain stream. This is pretty bad. Look at all the trash. It's everywhere. Anywhere you go that people live, you find trash. I mean, there's just tons of stuff here. Or I guess people just threw it over the hill, knowing that it would be out of sight, out of mind, the next time flood came along. But yeah, it's just loaded with stuff down here. Trashy trash, but this is where the good stuff's going to be too, because they did the same thing hundreds of years ago. There's no way we could use a metal detector over here. It'd be impossible. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the camera off for a while. If I see something neat, we'll pop her back on. I have hopes. At least we have some nice sandy soil over here to walk in for Lindsay, since she's going to keep her shoes off for a while. Kind of scares me a little bit because there's a lot of iron here, but I think if she stays in the sand, she'll be all right. So I'm working my way along the side where it's sandy. Lindsay's behind me putting her shoes on or something. But look at the remains here. There's an old wall that went around, and it's at the base of the cliff. So this must have been a path that they made to get along the river. It could be very ancient. I don't know why they would have one down this low unless this is the only place they could get through. But again, there's just tons of trash down here where people are apparently just pitching it over the bank. below where they live in that town up there, and it's collecting in the trees, and yeah, it's pretty horrible. But I see that wherever we go, don't we? But we're looking at little spots like this because there could be some neat stuff gathered in there. You know, some of their heavier things, a little bit of pottery. I don't suspect that's very old. That's a tile, I do believe. A bicycle rim. A few odds and ends. Alright. Wait for the good stuff. It's coming. I can feel it. I'm up here now at the turnaround point. We can't really go any further because the rocks come down to the water's edge there. You see the gorge continues up that way, but these rocks are very steep and the water is deep there, and I'd have to go way up around the side. But you can look here, you can see the stone wall is still here. It's much taller. I suspect there was a roadway that went along. They were going to take it back. I followed the rocks coming up, and it's just a huge amount of trash. And Lindsay's down there somewhere. She's probably resting. She fell in the water, and I think she was trying to get her boots dry or pants dry or something. I don't know, but we'll go find out, and we'll take the path back. We might have a little better luck. I was looking along here and all these cracks, but I'm not seeing anything old at all. Doesn't mean it's not there, it just means I'm not seeing it. It's a fun little journey though anyway. I'm having a good time. So far we have a shell fragment and a spoon, and that's about it. You can look up here, you can see there's a path right there. So let's go up there and walk down it and see if we have any better luck. We're right below the town here, where all the trash is coming from, out into the river. Ooh, there's no bottle. I want to say that's a chamber pot, although I don't know for sure. If I found out in America, I'd say it probably is. There's a neat old bottle though. I don't think it's too old. It's not a screw top, but it is blue, so that would be collectible. It would look nice in a window. There's just a lot of trash here, so we're not going to spend much time. Looks fairly new. Alright, let's head back. I'm really hoping Lindsay put her shoes back on. Look at that. I was tossed down the hill. There's some houses up there. I must be very careful no matter where you go, huh? Now Lindsay thinks she found something interesting down here.
What's that?
And she didn't dig it up. She wants to look at it with me before we dig it up. But first she's digging up a piece of a washing machine.
A piece of washing
or something.
Yeah, it's a cranker.
It probably is a piece of a washing machine.
That's a cranker.
Or something like that, you know, where you crank it. Make the tub swirl around.
What's that?
Junk. It's a piece of gutter probably. An old tank of some sort. Alright, she's going to lead us to the good stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, this is the treasure that Lindsay is showing me. She didn't dig up because she did not know what it is, and I don't know what it is, but I suspect it's just junk. I think she's hoping it's some type of artillery shell or something, but I do not believe so. Looks like a lid off of a propane tank almost. You know, it's a big thing that screws down.
Treasure.
Yeah, not very treasureful, Lindsay, sorry.
Oh, I didn't dig it up, so I didn't know. Want a fishing rod?
A fishing rod. How many of those have I found, huh? Oh yeah, we could fix that one up probably. I want an iPhone. We're back at the area where we crossed, and we went downstream just a little bit. Lindsay's on a path up there. Isn't that neat? I wonder why they made the path right along the water's edge. There's a little arch right there too, stone arch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. You can see where it goes all along the edge right there. Now I can spend some time down here just hanging out. Really beautiful right here, and it's the air is fresh. The base of the rock is probably at least 10 feet deep. What a lovely spot. Worn where, right there?
Yeah, this path up here, it's just worn rock. Like you've been stepping on for a long time?
Yeah. Be careful.
Fall the way. It's very narrow, but it's built out here, it's falling off. But here,
Pretty here. I like it.
it's like, woo,
Woo! 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 Not sure what that means. Maybe it's Italian for something, I don't know. What do you want me to look at? This must be the path to the gold. Huh. There's a nice little pathway. Look at that. Right along the water's edge. So we're still following the path along, and we can see some structures up ahead. So there might be an old house or something up here. Isn't that neat? Look at this path. Somebody went through a lot of work to do that. To stick right along the river's edge. Maybe this is the old salt road where they took the donkeys. The caravans of donkeys. I think there's 10,000 donkeys working this path at a time or something like that. Some huge number, according to the official records of Roya. That's neat though, look at that. Yeah, I can see some ruins over in here. Some stones piled up. I saw some up here too when we were back a little further. I like it here. This is a really neat spot. I mean, the path goes right along the edge here. Hugs the bank. And it's mostly still there. I mean, I'm sure it's a little rougher than it was back in the day, but you can definitely follow it the whole way. If you look here, you can see how these rocks have the white on them. I think that's from a limestone spring. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a spring right up in here, gurgling out of the mountain. Maybe we'll walk up that way in a minute. I just wish I had brought some more water to drink. I don't trust that, but I'm dying of thirst right now. I had a lot of anchovies for breakfast. That was a mistake. Yeah, a pound of anchovies and then come on a hike. I'll make it. I'm tough. Hey, look at this. Some tracks. Some deer tracks, I guess. No deer?
Yeah, probably so down here.
I don't know what kind of animals they have over here in Italy, but that looks like a deer track to me. Very nice. Alright.
Trail's there again, too.
Yeah. Yeah, see the trail goes right along the edge there still. Probably the old trail. There's the old town up there, and the path starts again right below us. You can see how wide it is. Lindsay just walked by, and she's getting ready to go around the bend right there. Isn't that cool? I suspect it goes all the way, yeah, I can see it way down there too. So we've come down river as far as we're going to go today. We actually had a little more time than I thought when we were back there. I was about an hour off. So we had about an hour and 20 minutes, not 20 minutes. This is what the river looks like here. We followed the path to this point, and we're going to have to go back. So that's about it. Sun's almost up over the edge of the mountain. I'm up above the river now, walking along what I believe are probably terraces for the olive trees back in the day. This is a good example right here. You can see there's a stone wall here. And if you look up, there's a flat spot and then another stone wall. And it does that all the way up the side of the mountain as far as I can tell. The river's down below us, down there, and there's actually another terrace down below us too. So the path we were on is right along the river. So we're hiking up this little path that parallels the spring we just found. And there's a lot of ruins through here, and I'm just kind of looking in the soil. The main part of their town is way up to our left on the mountainside. You can't see it too well. But there was obviously an old town here. You can see ruins, you see all kinds of, there's a building right there. We'll go and take a quick peek at it. And we're on a path right now. So there are people around. Oh yeah, look at that. See the one here, and then there's one up on top of the mountain. And this is the spring that we were following, that we saw where it popped out down by the river. So we're inside this structure. It looks a lot like the structure I was in that place where I was looking for a deer up in the woods back by my home, doesn't it? Kind of that dome cellar look. There's Lindsay out there walking around. Not sure what this would have been. Storage, I suppose. I don't think anyone would have wanted to live in here. do you think, Lindsay?
Storage.
Like a nice house?
No.
Nasty house. Following the path along here, that kind of ends. So we'll have to go up and scramble over the rocks, but you see where it continues right there. So there used to be something kind of cantilevered out. So we'll just pop up the hill here and go around it. Still heading along the river. There's a couple things here, nothing really interesting, but that's a piece of bone. That's probably somebody's supper. And there's a piece of copper here. This looks like a pipe though. I'm not going to dig it out of there, but look how it was really wedged in there from the floods. You know, this would all move around. Piece of aluminum down here. That's wedged in too. Lindsay's taking her shoes off because we're getting ready to go back across right here. Hopefully she won't fall in this time. Or if she does, I have the camera on. Keep hope alive, Mr. Bo. Keep hope alive. What's that? That's probably a spring of some sort. See some metal in the water here. That looks like an axle off or something. I'm not sure. It almost looks like a horseshoe, but I don't think it is. Let's go take a peek at it. Nah, I don't believe it is. Not even close. Probably goes to that thing. There's some more down there, but I'm not going to mess with it. Alright, let's work our way across. Lindsay hasn't fallen in yet, have you? Not yet.